So pretty soon I'm going to be swapping barrels in my Savage. I bought it as a 300 Win Mag, and a viewer sent me a 6.5 PRC barrel he had pulled off of his. So I've been collecting the stuff that I need for that, and I'm just waiting on my headspace gauges. So going through my 30 caliber bullets, there's several that I want to shoot in this gun before we pull the barrel. One of them was the Berger 200.20X that we tried out a few videos ago, and today's bullet falls in that category as well, the 230 grain Hornady A-Tip. I actually bought a couple hundred of these for some test I had dreamed up one day that we never got around to doing. Now I should mention we do have another 300 Winchester Magnum, right? We've got the Thompson Center Compass. So this isn't like a farewell video to 300 Winchester Magnum or anything like that. Hopefully you get what's going on. So these Hornady A-Tips are terribly expensive. They come in these crazy boxes. They're all hand selected and polished or something and packaged in these stacks like this. Even comes with a little red bag so you don't have to touch them with your filthy, disgusting hands. They should have sent like a little set of those white waiter's gloves. So this is the 230 grain flavor. I believe there's a 250 grain in 30 caliber as well. I'm pretty sure the Savage will be fine stabilizing these. It's got like a 1 in 9.3 twist, or nailed it. Yep, a 1 in 9.3 twist. These bullets are big and long and gigantic, like most of the other ultra low drag bullets these days. These have an aluminum tip, and I didn't even really notice it with my naked eye, but as I got my camera zoomed in, taking some shots of it, almost looks like there's a crimp, like the aluminum tips are perhaps crimped in or something. I don't know, there's something going on right there at the interface. But they sure are a pretty bullet, and the little silver tip is pretty cool. So in my Savage 110, the maximum overall length is 3.775. That is way out there. But the bullet is seated plenty deep enough, like the seating depth looks good. We have full contact between the bearing surface of the bullet and the neck of the case. Tell you what, one thing I didn't look at that I should. Hold on one second. Let me see how short these could be seated. What I did was I grabbed just my little split neck case and pushed a bullet in there. So the end of the ogive is right at the case mouth. Let's see what so that's 3.568. So probably like 3.550 you could get away with before you're seating past the start of the ogive. So what I want to shoot today is 20 thousandths off the lands, which will be for my gun 3.755 inches. That's a long way from the standard Sammy 300 Win Mag overall length of 3.340. Here it is lined up next to a piece of factory ammo. So we're definitely stretching it out, but the good thing about it is the MDT chassis uses these gigantic, like jumbo-sized AICS magazines. Yeah, the 3.850, that's the total measurement. So these rounds are actually going to fit in my magazine, no problem. 10 or 15 thousandths to spare. So I figured I'd shoot Reloder 26, and I'm not going to go crazy with charge weights here, because the last time I shot Reloder 26 with a heavy bullet in this gun, it was when we were fire forming this batch of Peterson brass, I was shooting the 220 grain Hornady ELDX with 73 grains of Reloder 26 and got 2,941 feet per second. That's a little higher than it should have been. But what I was going off of was some Alliant data for the 230 grain Berger hybrid and some other bullets. Like the Alliant data for Reloder 26 is just too hot. So when picking out today's charge weights, I looked in the Sierra manual, and it seems like I found some data somewhere else, but their charge weights were their max charges were a couple grains lower than what I'd seen on Alliant. So that's why I'm going to max out at 71.5 grains today. We might be able to go a little bit hotter than that, but just kind of want to get some velocities, because if we make it into the 2700s, like if we hit 2800, we're probably getting a little too spicy. So I'm going to keep an eye on velocity. I am shooting Peterson brass, like I mentioned, and the primers are Federal GM 215Ms. Just want to load up 25, go shoot some groups and see what it looks like. I've generally heard positive accuracy reports out of these bullets. I'm in the mood to shoot some good groups, so let's get started with loading. This batch of brass, I had bumped the shoulder on it a while back, but I didn't have an expander ball in the die, so I need to run these through an expanding mandrel. So we'll use a 306 expanding mandrel, some quick cleanup, and then we're ready for primers and powder. So this little tray is pretty handy when it comes to bullet seating time. Like right there they are. So I'm sorry for making fun of the tray earlier. This is like super convenient. So I've got my charges weighed out. There is a specific seating stem for this bullet for the 230 and 250 A-Tips. So we'll be using that in a Hornady die. This one right here, which I'll back that out a ways. And this should be pretty easy to dial in. At least I hope. That may already be too far. I hope not. Yep, I already went too far. 3.755 is our target, so I'm going to back out 60. And I think instead of messing with this, trying to pull the bullet, we'll make this our cider shot. It's our lowest charge weight. Yeah, that'll work. All right, let's try this again. 3.754, so perfect. Or 1,000th short, but I was looking at the tip on this one. No, I thought it was blunted a bit. Never mind, it's perfect. Next one's 3.754. Next one's 3.7545. So getting very, very consistent results to the tip of the bullet, which I would expect, right? It's supposed to be fancy and uniform and expensive and all that stuff. So I was going to go through the trouble of prepping another piece of brass, and that one's a 0.5 short. I was going to go through the trouble of prepping another piece of brass and weighing a quick charge real quick, but I don't think I'm going to. That one that's short, say we'll shoot it first, and then we'll just shoot a 4-shot group. Who cares? It's no big deal. If I'm remembering correctly, these bullets are like packaged sequentially as well, which I guess is the justification for this packaging. Hopefully I'm using them in the right order. Maybe it's supposed to be this way. Now with Reloder 26, this is not a full case, so I'm not dealing with any compressed charges today. Got a little bit extra case to work with. Okay, so this has been drama-free loading, drama-free bullet seating, drama-free everything. And hopefully we're about to shoot some drama-free 1/4-inch groups. I don't know. Let's get to the range, find out. Okay, let's get started. This is my Savage 110 Precision chambered in 300 Winchester Magnum. The scope is a Vortex Viper HS, 6-24 power. See, we're 24-inch barrel, 1 in 9 point whatever. We talked about that earlier, 9.3 twist, I think, 9.5. Silencer Co. Omega 36M suppressor. I'm running without a cover today. Do got a bit of a breeze. I'm hoping that'll help keep it cool and also deal with any mirage that I might run into. We'll see how it goes. The target's at 100 yards. What you see above is the shot marker electronic target system. Assuming my equipment doesn't fail, you should see a target camera over there. Taking velocities with the lab radar chronograph, and I think that's about it. I've got our one short shot. The gun is completely cold. No warm-up shots whatsoever. So this will be our warm-up shot. Let's see if we're on paper. Okay, looks like we're on paper. Bolt lift and extraction was good. A little bit of primer cratering on an otherwise good looking primer. First velocity was 2720. I was hoping we'd be down in the 2600s. So hopefully we didn't start too high. I'll tell you what, these next 4, I'll feed out of the magazine just to prove that I wasn't lying to you earlier. The problem is that this gun doesn't feed very smoothly. I bought a little adjustment tool to adjust the feed lips on my magazines and just haven't got around to it. Maybe we'll deal with that someday, but just fair warning that if these don't feed smoothly, it's probably not the bullet's fault. First one seems okay, assuming we picked up a round. All right, let's see if we can shoot a group. So I am leaving the bolt open while I'm cooling the gun between shots, just giving it a couple minutes. Well, 1.73 inches is not what I had in mind. Before that 5th shot, I was really hoping we had a pretty good group here going with these 3 and just one flyer. Yeah, those 3 there were into 0.45, but 1.73 inches overall. The average velocity was 2714, standard deviation 6.4, extreme spread 15. All right, I'm gonna let the gun cool here for a few minutes, and then we'll move on. Okay, so I'm warmed up, gun's warmed up, everything's warmed up. So let's see if we can put together a group. Where are we at? So last one was 69.5, this one's 70.0. I screwed it up a little bit, but not too bad. 1.00 inches. What were we shooting before that last shot? 0.80. Yeah, I screwed it up a little bit. That's okay. It's good improvement. Gives me some hope here. It's not really that much velocity increase, 27.29. So we gained 15 feet per second out of that additional half grain of powder. So maybe velocities won't get too crazy here. All right, I'm going to take another little break, try to keep this barrel and suppressor heat under control. I think my target camera battery might have run out or is about to run out, and I'll fix that after this group. And speaking of this group, it is 70.5 grains. Oh, bull crap. Bull crap. I don't like that one. Yeah, we had 0.64 inches going before that. You know, and it's funny, so that was the 5th shot on that group, and then this is the 5th shot on that group. They're ending up high and to the right. All right, 1.03 inches. Velocity 2751, standard deviation 9.6. All right, I'm gonna go see if I can get our target camera running again, assuming it died. I know it's about to, and 2 groups left. Okay, is it working again now? Hopefully. I'm reusing this target face, and it's got some holes in it, so let's move down to the bottom row, and we'll see how that works. That first row was bad luck anyway. That first shot was 27.61. It was like, you know, we're just not climbing velocity very fast, which is good. Getting some pretty strong wind gusts. Hey, did I finally put one together? I think I did. 0.54 inches. Gotta be honest, that's about all I'm capable of with a 300 Win Mag, I think. I just don't have the recoil management skills to do much better, I don't think. It was funny, I was getting a bunch of wind gusts during that group, and I don't have the little wind shield for the microphone on the lab radar. I just lost it at some point, just need to put a new one on there. But it kept triggering false shots, so I need to go in and delete those. I just tried to delete a shot and it looks like it locked up the app. Okay, that was an ordeal. 2779, 10.7 standard deviation. Our brass has still been looking okay, and it looks like we'll be at about 2800. Which isn't that far off, I guess. Okay, last group, 71.5 grains. Can't tell if my target camera died again or if the sun's just shining on it. Sorry if it did. It's just that kind of day, I guess. Holy crap. Let's call it a 2-shot group. I thought I shot the wrong dot. And of course the target camera died. It felt like a good shot. Still pretty good group, 0.57 inches right now. Last shot. All right, that's a decent finish. 0.68 inches. I can live with that. Okay, so my iPad battery died, and I'm too stupid to use the regular interface on the lab radar. Velocity should have been 2800, right at 2800. It's right there. I'm putting it on the screen. Pretty happy about that strong finish. If we look at all 5, the last 2 were definitely the best. All right, let's get packed up, get back to the bench. Okay, these are our 5 rows from today. Here's one from our max load. Like I mentioned, out on the range, a little bit of primer cratering on an otherwise good looking primer and case head, I think. And haven't noticed anything anywhere else. And that bit of cratering is normal for this gun. If we go to, I don't know, any other random piece in the box that we didn't shoot today, it looks the same. So, good looking brass today. Sorry about those target camera issues. Here's our target. So here are the last 2 groups you didn't get to see all of. So 71.0 grains, that was a 0.54 inch group. And then our last group, 71.5, was a 0.68 inch group. There's definitely some promise here. You know, and I can't help but wonder on that first group. So this is the only one where I used the magazine. So maybe that, you know, magazine full of rounds getting beat up by the recoil caused some issues, because things cleared up nicely after that. So pretty darn good. We made it up to 2795 feet per second. Hang on. I want to double check and see what Sierra had predicted for their 230. They've got a big, long, fancy 230 grain bullet as well. Yeah, and they showed 2700 from a 24 inch test barrel. So I don't know, man. I've either got a fast shooting barrel or maybe a hot jug of Reloder 26. I mean, it's all good as long as I'm aware of it. I'm just glad I didn't only rely on the Alliant data, or we could have gotten into trouble shooting, what, 2.5 more grains of powder than what we shot today. Standard deviations were outstanding. We only had one today in double digits, and it was 10.7. So outstanding standard deviation and extreme spread numbers. So pretty impressive. I'd love to take maybe, well, our best group today, 71.0 grains. I'd love to take that and explore some different overall lengths. And maybe we'll have time for that, because I've these 6.5 PRC headspace gauges, I've been waiting on them for a month already. So they might be a while. So maybe I'll have time to sneak in another video and we can play with some overall length. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We could also check to see if the slower twist in the Thompson Center compass is able to stabilize these. Or maybe we hold on to them as a reason to try 300 PRC. Or shoot them as subs in 300 blackout. Lots of options. That seems like it might be a little wasteful. All right, I'm rambling and making bad jokes, which means this one's over. I appreciate you joining me, and I'll see you next time.